All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining today's Sonder Social. For those of you who are new, welcome. And for those of you who are returning, welcome back. I'm Malika, and I will be leading you through the surrender letter and acrostic poem for today's social. Apologies for my voice. I have come down with a little bit of a bug. I don't know what it is, but just a cough. So my voice is kind of gone, but hopefully we can get through it together. So just as a quick reminder, make sure to set your chat to everyone. I know sometimes Zoom automatically sends your chats to the host and panelists. And as much as we love to hear your words, we want to make sure that the rest of the group can hear your lovely words as well. So make sure to set your chat to everyone, and we'll get started. All right. We will now start with talking about this month's theme. I love everyone to kind of keeps the monthly theme in mind. And to surrender is really to yield the power, control, or possession of another upon compulsion or demand. And to me, surrender is really admitting that you might not have all the answers, but there could be another way. And it's very different from giving up, which means you're shutting down the possibilities that could be beneficial. So surrender really invites the universe to bring grace, new people, and new opportunities into your life. So I'd love for you all to keep that in mind as we go through the activities today. And I'll walk you through the agenda. The agenda will start with the surrender activity, which will be a fun kind of visual activity, but also will help us dive into the theme of surrender. And then we'll move on to the surrender letter on page 16. And then finally, we'll go ahead and do our final activity, which will be the acrostic poem, and then we'll close out. So I'll go to the first exciting activity, which is the surrender staircase. So I'd love if everyone could turn to a blank page, either in their October monthly journal, or if you have filled out all of your blank pages, you're definitely if you can definitely do this on a blank piece of paper. So you can find that and then write your stairs that way and draw just ascending stairs and try to imagine yourself climbing those stairs. And at the top of the stairs is really unlocking all those new opportunities that you're welcoming to your life. And for each step, try to write one thing that will help you reach to the top. So it can be letting go of anxiety, asking friends for comfort, coming to Sonder socials, or interacting with people on Sonder Club. I also have a few examples of what others have done for this activity. So here you can see people have set it up very differently, and I encourage you to definitely get creative with it. So you can always kind of do just like one linear path, but you can also kind of include some opportunities that you're looking forward to, maybe an inspirational quote at the top, whatever is calling to you. I always imagine when I think about this activity, I think about the Truman Show and that ending scene where he kind of climbs up, he reaches the edge of the simulation, I guess, and then climbs up the stairs and opens the door to the rest of his life. And I really like to keep that in mind when I visualize this activity. But I'll give you all a few minutes for this activity. And as you write down what will help you reach to that top of the staircase, I invite you to type in the chat what you wrote down, because I love kind of seeing what you all write down. All right. All right. Thank you all for sharing how you set up your staircase. I know it's a little, it's kind of I love what I'm trying to remember who said it. I think it was Lori who said this is such a perfect theme at a perfect time of the year as we enter kind of a busy time with a lot of holiday stress, a lot of anxiety with getting things done. By the end of the year, we give ourselves this kind of like, oh my gosh, I haven't done X, Y, and Z by the end of the year. What am I gonna do? No, like I think we should remember that just because the year is ending doesn't mean that you can't continue on all the progress that you've been doing so far. So thank you all, and thank you all for being so vulnerable in the chat. It's truly amazing how incredible you all are. So thank you all. And we'll now move on to our surrender letter. So I'll give everyone a few moments to get their journal and turn to page 16 of the surrender letter. And this at the top, it says, write a letter to yourself. What am I holding on to that I need to forgive myself for? So as I was chatting with our fabulous stage manager, Jennifer O, you'll see her popping up in the chat. She kind of brought up a great idea of maybe if it's hard to write a letter to yourself, it can be almost like more powerful to write it to a specific emotion that you're trying to surrender. So it's almost like you're personifying this emotion that you want to get rid of in your life. For example, say you want to write a letter to anxiety. Dear anxiety, I'm done with you. Or maybe you're sick of feeling guilty. Dear guilt, I'm no longer going to have you in my life or invite you into every crevice of my life. It can be very powerful to write it to that specific emotion that you want to surrender. So yeah, I agree. I think dear anger, dear regret, I love, 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 love these ideas. I think it also provides a little bit more separation so that you're not necessarily writing it to yourself, because we don't want to kind of bring down ourselves. We're obviously going through a lot of experiences. We're not just tied to the negative. So it can be a way to separate yourself from the actual feeling that you feel that you want to get rid of, not necessarily yourself and being hard on yourself. So I love that idea. So I definitely encourage you to go that approach if you feel so inclined. Here are some examples of what I wrote in my surrender letter. I typically have I'm in my like mid 20s, sorry, I guess I'm entering my late 20s now. And I like am in a weird state of transition where after the pandemic, I'm feeling pretty socially disconnected from a lot of close friendships that I used to have, just we're in very different states. And then I also have these feelings of like almost jealousy of friends that are in different life stages, which is like not healthy, but it's something that I can't help feeling sometimes, like feeling a bit behind. And then feeling like, oh, I'm not good enough. I started this new hobby of pottery just to try something new. And it's so hard being in that studio and seeing everyone with their perfect pots. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm not good. But it's better. I'm better than how I was a few weeks ago. And that's what really matters, right? Progress, not perfection. And then maybe feeling a little bit guilty when I'm eating food that may be making me feel less energetic. But also recognizing that I do love the taste of food. So I enjoy that food. So I'm not going to cut it out of my life. So yeah, just kind of different things that I wrote about in my surrender letter, but I'll give everyone some time to go ahead and write in their surrender letter and share with us like what who you're writing to. If it's yourself, then it's yourself, but if it's an emotion, share with us. I already see people writing in the chat, which is amazing. And share with us kind of what you write if you feel like sharing with us, and I'll give everyone quite a bit of time to fill this out. I know it's a lot of lines. You obviously don't have to fill it up, but at least get started, and I'll check in with you all in a few. Okay, I just wanted to pop in and say a huge thank you all for being so vulnerable in the chat. I'm really emotional reading all of your letters, and I totally understand if this activity is really hard. It can be tough to kind of unpack a few things. So if you're not feeling like it's the right time, maybe jot some things that you would like to surrender and maybe revisit this if it's too hard to write the letter right now. But thank you all for kind of sharing. I love reading your words. I'll give you all a few more minutes to kind of just let you write right away. And I'll see you all in a bit. All right. Thank you all for sharing such beautiful, beautiful letters. I would encourage you, if you did not finish, that's completely fine. You're welcome to kind of revisit this after the social. I would love for you all to really just kind of reflect on your words and be proud of yourself for being vulnerable with yourself. This is by no means an easy activity, and you all just really made this activity so powerful by your words. And I loved reading what you all wrote in the chat. And if you struggled with this, I completely understand. It was hard for me to write initially, but you just kind of have to revisit at a time when you're feeling a little bit better and you're able to kind of find those words. So thank you all for sharing, and keep continuing to share as you kind of get to a better place with your letter. I love it, and share with us in Sonder Club. I think these powerful words, powerful letters to emotions is something that I think a lot of people would love to see, because I think that's such a unique twist on the prompt itself, and made it a little bit easier for us to kind of dive in a little bit deeper on how we felt surrendering that emotion. So thank you all. And we'll now move on to the next activity, which is the acrostic poem. So for this acrostic poem, we've now written the letter, right? We figured out what we wanted to let go, what we wanted to surrender. And now for the surrender acrostic poem, what do things look like now that you have surrendered that feeling? You've surrendered what's weighing you down. And how do you feel now that you have surrendered that emotion? Um, Maybe you can reflect that in your surrender acrostic poem. When I surrender, I definitely feel lighter. I feel like a weight has been lifted. So I encourage you to kind of get creative with the surrender acrostic poem. Here are a few examples that I'll pop up on the screen. As a reminder, this is on page 19. So make sure to turn to that page for this activity, and take a few minutes to write down your surrender acrostic poem, and share with us in the chat what you wrote down, and we'll regroup. All right. Thank you all for sharing your fabulous acrostic poems. I want to read a few that I really loved. One of them is from Shadara, and they wrote, savor each small moment you can and understand they may only happen once, so soak them up. Realize perfection isn't happiness. Remember to breathe and embrace life daily. Never give up on you. Don't let negativity rule, even in dark times. Rise up to your new life. I love that. I also really liked Brenda's, surely my unique reality will make me realize the endless possibilities of my new independent life. Enjoy it. You are a rare woman worthy of all good things. I also really liked Carmen's. Surely it will all work out. Understanding it's all all in the journey. Realize the doubt. Reality is a dream, evolving every day. Never give up. Dreams can come true. Everyone is rowing their own boat. Realize the greatness that comes with surrender. I love that. Beautiful. There was also one from Wendy. She's under renovation, realizing now enough negativity deemed her empty. Remember, enough is enough. And then at the end, Wendy wrote, dream again, girl. I love it. These are all so incredible. I love all of your poems. And if you didn't finish, that's completely fine. If poems aren't your thing, that's okay too. This is like supposed to be fun. Maybe you don't want to have that structure. Maybe just write, as Jennifer said in the chat, maybe write how you would feel once you fully surrendered anything that's weighing you down. What would you feel? And just free write on those lines and just cross off the left column if you'd like, or draw kind of what surrender means to you. I love that idea as well. Thank you all so much for for sharing all of your beautiful words. I think there's something so powerful. I noticed a lot of us were struggling with this month's theme. It's definitely hard to come up with, responses to these prompts sometimes, and that's part of it, right? I think part of it is just kind of working through it and understanding different ways that we can tailor these prompts and these journaling activities to best fit us. And that's what's most important. And I just love reading all of your words. Your letters were so powerful. We started off really, really heavy. And I know we don't do that for every social, but I am so incredibly honored to just read your words. I think they're such a great glimpse into each and every one of your worlds. And I feel like that's very rare in virtual environments. So I wanted to really thank you all for just spending the time with yourself today and with me and Jennifer today. It was such an honor to just kind of finally surrender those emotions that have been weighing us down and kind of get to that next step of feeling like a weight has lifted. I feel a lot better today. I know I've been pretty sick the past few days, but I'm definitely in a better headspace just spending this hour with you all. So thank you so much for all of your all of your kind words and all of your supportive vibes that you're sending to each other. It's just such a powerful community. So thank you all. And unfortunately, this means our time has come to a close. But thank you all so much for coming today. We have a QR code at the top for the survey. And we do read that survey. So make sure to send in your feedback. What do you want to see more from us? What do you want to see less of? Is there anything that you'd love a social on? We're here to kind of tailor these events to best serve the community. You can also, for those of you who are new, make sure to download the Sonder Club app. I would love if you all shared your staircases or your letters or your poems. I love seeing kind of how you've laid out your journal. It's so fun for me to go back and read because I can't see them in this Zoom call. So make sure to share with us on Sonder Club. Yeah, no pressure, of course. If you don't feel comfortable, I know it's very personal, especially the letter. So no pressure on sharing that. But thank you all so much. And then also we have a YouTube link on the right for all of the recordings. So this is basically houses all of our past Sonder socials that you can kind of see if you've ever missed one. Go ahead and check out that channel. You'll see the Sonder socials in there. And then finally, if you love Silk and Sonder and you have a friend that would also love it, we also have a referral program going on. So you would get kind of a discount, and so would they. So make sure to check that out if you know anyone in your life that would really love Silk and Sonder. But without further ado, I have to say goodbye, which makes me so sad. But thank you all so much for such an exciting social. I am so excited to kind of dive into surrender with you all. It was so fun. And I will see you at the next one. Thank you so much and have a great rest of your week.
Everyone seems a damn genius lately. TikTok talking, late night TV. Is still so much I have yet to know. Get dressed up just to go downtown in some ego-filled late night crowd. It seems to be where I feel most alone. I like to get lost on some old back road, find a shade tree and a honey hole, and talk to my grandpa again. And I see God in everything, trees and pain and nights in the spring. So why do I still long for a home? I like to lay in a field on a cozy blanket and feel the fear of never waking, to know the true warmth of the sun. I like to love my lady long and hard, and lay down lines of layman guitar, never leave her loving arms again. My exes hate me and my friends all miss me. I wanna drown in rot gut whiskey, leave this small town for a while. Heading to Paris on a late night flight, find a bar and get in a fight, write a few poems on a sunny balcony. I wanna be a child climbing trees somewhere, breathing in the fresh outside air, before I knew this life was unkind. I want a well-trained dog on a couple of acres, a kind lady and a place to take her, a few good friends I can count on one of my hands. I know I'm bound to die one day, so when I reach those golden gates, I pray to say I did the best I can. Sit with my mother and the dearly departed, send a prayer down to the broken hearted, let them know it all turns out just fine. To know me is to love me, and to hate me is to wrong me. I prefer my not so lonely love, blues, guitar, muscle cars and gin. I'm a simple man, I don't need much, just my simple songs and some human touch. I'm tired now, so I'm bringing my ass home. So let me go down the line. Let me feel it all, your pain in the sky. So let me go down the line. We all burn, burn, burn and die. So let me go down the line. I wanna feel it all, your pain in the sky. So let me go down the line. We all burn, burn, burn and then die. So let me go down the line. I wanna feel it all, joy, pain in the sky. So let me go down the line. We all burn, burn, burn.